Welcome you on the show, Weekend Sport on Trust TV. I'm Adeni G. Shafet. I'm taking you through world of sport for this weekend, and we look at activities. A lot of matches coming up, but before we talk about matches, we have to look at basketball for this particular weekend. We're focusing on basketball, and really a wonderful one that we'll be having, and also our guests will be joining us there. But right now, let's quickly look at what happened during the week. Just two stories. We look at the first one that has to do with under-20 draw that was conducted in Egypt, where we have our own team talking about under-20, the Flying Eagles, who did right now. They have a big battle to face against Egypt, South Africa, and also Morocco. They'll be facing Egypt, South Africa, and Morocco. They are in their own Group B, where they qualify. If they are able to make it, they will qualify. According to their coach, we fear no foe, and we are ready to do well. Group A, we have Cote d'Ivoire, DR Congo, Ghana, and Tanzania waiting for the team that will qualify from the UNIFAC 2. In Group C, Senegal, Zambia, Kenya, and Sierra Leone. Those are the teams that will be playing in Group C there. But our team, Nigeria, Egypt, South Africa, and Morocco, are ready for this particular competition that will be coming up in Cote d'Ivoire for under-20. Flying Eagles, led by Coach Ali Zubero, are ready to roar against other teams in that competition. Well, also during the week, we know that Chelsea lost against Brighton there, and like we say in Nigeria parlance, Chelsea our market. What's happening? That game, that wasn't what a lot of Chelsea fans were expecting. Well, they lost 3-0 to Brighton, where Mitoma and Minte were able to score the 3 goals, and right now they're smiling to the bank with the 3 points at stake. For Enzo Maresca, they have another chance next time they meet, the other that they play, to see how they can at least buy time to win more games there. Away from there, we talk about basketball and NBA focus. Basketball in Nigeria, we know that we have teams that will be playing. When it comes to national team, D Tigers, D Tigress. We also have Ami Okonkwo in the line of our story for NBA. Well, we'll be having a guest that will be joining us, someone that's actually seen it all, has been a player, and currently is the player representative of Nigerian Basketball Federation in person of Stanley Gumut that will be joining us. He has actually started this story from Plateau State to other teams that he actually applied it straight away before he became the NBBA player representative. He will be joining us via Zoom, where we'll be talking about basketball and NBA focus, to look at the NBA All-Star for this weekend, and also looking at the NBA this season, not forgetting D Tigers and D Tigers. But right now, let's actually look at basketball in Nigeria. We know that a lot of Nigerian men and women, young boys and girls, are into this sport of slam and dunk sport. And right now, we'll be actually talking about, let's start with D Tigers. D Tigers national team, the national team of Nigeria for men, they'll be playing against Libya, and they'll be jetting out on Sunday for the 3-round qualifiers for Afro Basket. And we know that they will be trying their best to see how they could be able to defeat Libya, and also at least pick up that particular win there. But it is, they have been in camp for a while, and that we'll be talking about alongside actually with Stanley Gumut. Not forgetting our ladies, the Tigress too. They will also be trying to see how they can consistently maintain their dominant in Africa. They've done it back to back, dominating Africa when it comes to women basketball, and really they deserve it this time around, trying to go for it again. And part of what we're going to be looking at. Aside that, we also have Amy Okonkwo, the lady Nigerian star basketball player who actually have moved to the US to just at least have a short contract with Connecticut Kings there to see how she will do well with our team. Amy Okonkwo has been a superlative player for Nigerian D Tigress, playing a trade over there in France and now to the US, and this is part of what we're looking at. But as it is right now, for the fact that we're talking about Nigerian basketball development alongside Stanley Gumut, who has been with us. Really is a big one, because we know that when it comes to this sport, aside football, basketball is the next big sport in Nigeria. You can't take that away. Almost everyone, one way or the other, they've been able to slam or dunk basketball. So right now, Gumut is taking over. Let's have Stanley Gumut there.
So there's no categorical point on that, but then we cannot just lay it under the carpet. We have to just say it out. It might be a decision for them to see that, okay, this man, we don't want to pay him that much. And then again, he might probably have some locker room issues, maybe that is not coming out there on the internet, which they say it is because of his lack of discipline as a player that he got injured the last time. So we don't know what exactly the issues are. But again, I think the Lakers won the trade on the long run, but then the Dallas Mavericks won the trade on a short term, because I'm sure with the team that they have, if healthy, they'll give a fight in the Western Conference.
Good one there. That's from someone who actually has seen the game. Well, let me take you on a lighter note now. Just before we go into the deeper one. If you had to be a coach in the NBA right now, which player would you have traded for?
Well, I'm a Warriors fan, and I think Warriors. The trade that we got with Jimmy Butler is an excellent trade. For sure, I'm a student of Steve Kerr, but again, I still worry about the issues of, the small ball lineup without at least a rim protector, which I think is key in today's NBA. But again, if I'm to go out for a shot blocker, I'll go get one, because I think that's the only thing that the Golden State Warriors are needing right now. I think the shooting is going to come. They now have someone who's going to take them to the free throw line. A lot of times they shoot just the 3 ball. Nobody tries to go to the basket to get contacts and sell the foul. Jimmy Butler is a master at it. In just 2 games, 4 games, 2-3 games, he has already 34 points from the free throw line. And I think going to the free throw line is a lot. It relieves the team, of the pressure of having to shoot all the balls. It also helps in putting pressure on the other team by creating more fouls so that you can have opportunity to score. Then at the end of the day, because if you look at even the statistics of the Warriors, about 30-something games they played, it's a close game. A close game, lost by 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. It's not usually a blowout. And then most of those points come down to clutch moments where you need to put the ball in somebody who is strong and has that experience and actually explode to the basket to get foul contacts. I think Andy Wiggins couldn't do that. I don't know why. He is also a sound player, but I think the difference between him and Butler is that Butler has a higher IQ than he is. And then Butler also knows what to use, what he has. You may not see clearly, physically that this is what Butler has in terms of skills, but effectiveness, how he affects the game has shown. He's that guy that you see him on the triple-double every night, even if he's not 10. You know what I'm saying? But then the Warriors are a team to watch out for in this second round. I believe if they make it to the playoffs, any team that is going to meet them is going to have a run for their life. They are a championship contender. They know what to do when it matters. In a 7-game series, they continue to make adjustments every day. That is the issue. You can only take out the Warriors before they get to the playoffs. But if they have a 7-game series, I will go for the Warriors, seeing them at least in the conference finals.
Of course, I expect that from you. Being a fan of Golden State Warriors, I expect you to actually go deeper with Golden State. Anyway, now let's go to the main gist for this weekend. NBA All-Stars is coming up. And we have lists that have been drawn up. We have global stars, we have young stars, we have also crossing over. So the OG Shaquille O'Neal's team, let's have it. You have it there. You have Shaquille O'Neal's OGs, Jaylen Brown, you have Stephen Curry, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, you have LeBron, King James, Damian Lillard, you have Jason Tatum. And you look at the young stars under Kenny's, you have Jalen Brunson, Kate Cunningham, Anthony Edwards, you have Garland, you have Hero, or Hard rather, you have Jackson Jaren, you have Evan Mobley, and also Williams. Well, for Giannis Antetokounmpo, they are under shocks, and you have Alexander, Oklahoma City's under player, Jokic, Mitchell, Sengun, you have Siakam, you have Anthony Towns, Wembanyama, that player, watch out for him, and Trae Young. Well, this weekend is full of action action. We know that the Rising Star also played the game, and we've seen Team C doing so well, being able to qualify, and also top that Rising Star. Now they'll be facing, at least making it the 4th team to play in the All-Stars, giving it that chance. So, Stanley, if you are to look at it, right now, what we had on that earlier on, talking about the All-Stars team there, the lead. Let's look at that list again so that Stanley will be able to pick his own. If you are to be Shaquille now, or Kenny, or Shooks, what would you have done? Or Chucks, rather.
Now, let me just quickly analyze these 3 teams. Kenny is going with the young guys, Shaq is going with experience, and then Choke is a mix of both. And then, personally, I think the selection of His Excellency Choke, I don't like his combinations. He just does things. Sometimes you ask yourself what you're doing. But then, in a 7-game series, I will go with the team, Shaq, because they will continue to make adjustments, and then they will come out to win because of their experience. But then, because it's an All-Star weekend, and then there might not be no serious defense hanging around, everybody balling, and then these young guys might run these big veterans. But I stick with the team Shark, thinking that they're going to come out with some pride and try to show that, okay, we are Olympians, we just won the Olympics, so it's time to repeat same in the All-Star. But let's see how everything plays out. Like, it's an All-Star, so you cannot really say, okay, this is exactly good, because it's going to be fun, more fun. But then in the real game situation, I think the Shark team will pull out easily.
Well, seriously, a lot of people have been tipping that same Shako G-set team. But, well, sport is always very unpredictable. And now we have to look at that alongside Stanley Gumut. But seriously, whatever happens, all of them are equal to the standard. They are always equal to the task. They are all ready to fight. You have all these stars named there. And also for the young star, rising star, a particular player, Steven, you just have to watch out for him. He did well in the Rising Star game where his team actually were able to win. He won the MVP, Stephen Castle, being able to get that particular award that stands out. And now you have the chance to also rub shoulders with the team, Shaq O'Neal, OGs, playing against LeBron James will be is an opportunity. And also looking at all the stars of this world that they will be playing together. Well, let's maybe digress away from the NBA All-Stars and let's talk about the NBA itself for this season. NBA this season. Well, before we look at the table, but let's take it like this. This season so far, when you look at both Western and Eastern Conference, Cleveland Cavaliers, Oklahoma City Thunder, they've been kind of one of the, at least the best so far. They've done so well, topping the groups. I know you might want to not want to agree, but if you look at how the table is standing, they are topping the table. So you have to give them the best there. But right now, as it is, this season, which team has been your best team?
Well, the Oklahoma City Thunders have shown character, in the regular season so far. The Cavaliers also have shown character, but I must tell you something. In the East, it's going to be a tough battle between the New York Knicks, who are going to be expecting OG Anunoby to be healthy, Karl Anthony Towns to be healthy, and of course, Jalen Brunson, who has been sensational. This is a team that nobody is sticking to be anywhere. But then, if they meet the Cleveland Cavaliers, I just believe that the Cleveland Cavaliers don't have what it takes in the playoff run to take down this team, New York Knicks. And then again, Boston Celtics never look down on these guys. They are going to come out and fight. So in the East, it's going to come down between these 3 teams. One of them will emerge as Eastern Conference champions to advance to the West, where it is fully packed. In terms of the West, it is never going to be a prediction until you watch what happens, because injury might play a role on it, but then if everyone is healthy.
Okay, so as it is, we're still with Stanley Gumut. Hopefully, he will be able to join us back. We're talking about the NBA, and it's been a wonderful ride we had alongside him because we talked about D Tigers, basketball development in Nigeria. Him being a player representative, he's been saying a lot. And also, we moved to the NBA All-Stars where we talk about the teams.
In the playoff run.
He's back. Okay, good to have you back, yes. Stanley.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Go on. We can hear you.
Okay, so the OKC Thunders, I think for me, are the ones that we have to look out for, because they are the ones that are showing character so far. But then in the 7-game series, you never know. I don't think Shea Gilbert alone can carry the whole team in a 7-game series. Teams are going to continue to make adjustments on him, and then until they weigh him out. Because I know, in fact, if I'm a coach of any of these teams, I know you. I will not let you beat me with 50 points in 4 straight games. So I close out every other supporting cast, making sure that you don't touch the ball, or if you touch it minimally, let Shea score 70 points, and let me see how him alone can win the team. So in their case, they have less help than other teams. I'll go back again to my Golden State Warriors. They are a side that know that the window of championship is closing out on them. So it is yet again another opportunity of 2 years for them to try. If they meet the OKC Thunders in the first round, I'm going with the Golden State Warriors to advance.
Okay, while you were talking about all these things now, let's take a look at the table, both Western and Eastern. Let's look at it together. And you look at it this way. These are games through February 13 down, and now you look at it in the playoffs so far, the teams have already set themselves. If it ends this way, which we know is still a run. But right now, OKC, they've really done well. Look at the games they've played, 44 wins, and they lost 10 games. And you look at Memphis Grizzlies are second with 36 games win, 18 losses there. You have Denver Nuggets, who are standing tall with 36-19. You look at Houston Rockets, 34-21, 32-20 for Lakers, 31-23 for Los Angeles Clippers. Let's look at this together in the Western Conference. Would you have expected this to be at the beginning of the season?
No. At the beginning of the season, no. But again, there's this popular saying in Hausa that say that that a bike starts faster than a car does not mean that in a long journey he's going to get there before a car. So it's for me. Let me start with the Memphis Grizzlies. They are not, for me, they are not looking like a championship team that are ready. They're just having a good run. In a playoff setting, if they meet the Lakers will beat them. The Lakers, they look depleted, but to be honest to you, that man LeBron James, as much as I have never been a fan, I've always been on the side of Michael Jordan in terms of who is the greatest of all time. But you must give it to LeBron for his longevity, and also for the way he's playing at age 40, putting up those huge numbers. I believe that LeBron James, if he comes out alive, there's no team in the West that is going to come and stand in his way because of his playoff experience and his health. If he gets healthy, even with the way they are looking, they're going to give a run. If they meet any of these young teams, LeBron is going to always advance ahead of them because he's been there through thick and thin. In his 21st season, it is not a joke. And he also knows that the window is closing out on him. Unless he gets injured, he's going to fight with pride to ensure that he advances nothing less than the Western Conference Finals. So, like I said, it is going to be a huge battle in these playoffs. We're just going to sit down, relax, get some popcorn, buy a bottle of Coke, and then watch how things unfold.
Seriously, we've been talking about the NBA, and it's been a smooth ride with Stanley Gumut, player representative, Nigerian Basketball Federation, and we're looking at the NBA right now, the table, Western, Eastern Conference. Let's go back to the tables and look at this time around. Let me touch on your team a bit. Let me actually tickle your fancy. Your team is standing 10th on the law. Golden State Warriors, 28-27. Look at it. They've won 28, they've lost 27.
Yes. So we have 30 games or so left in the season, because by these, about 29, 30 games left in the season. All we need is at least 16, 17 games, probably 18, 20 games from the 30, and we're going to advance and be 6th on the table. And once we get to be 6th on the table, we're going to be sitting right there and playing the Denver Nuggets. And if we get there, if they remain on the 3rd, we'll play the Denver Nuggets. Either the Denver Nuggets, the Memphis Grizzlies, or the Houston Rockets. And if we meet any of these, you saw the way we played the Houston Rockets the last game, you should know that we are not out to joke with anyone in this second round, especially with the acquisition of Jimmy Butler. I'm sure before the season ends, they might go shopping for at least a shot blocker, even though I have so much confidence in the young players. All they need is that confidence, and I think they are getting that from Draymond Green and even Steph Curry. Steph Curry is one of the superstars in history that does not contend with anybody. He allows everybody that freedom to make mistakes and even be a part of the program. Unlike a lot of superstars that dictate the pace of things and activities in their locker rooms. So I think the Golden State might end up 6th position or 7th. But then whoever they meet, like I said, advancing will be a problem for that team, especially when it has to do with the 7-game series.
Oh, okay, yeah, at least I appreciate what you're saying. But does it mean Golden State Warriors need one big player, at least to turn things around?
Yes, I think a shot break, a rim protector, someone who anybody coming into the paint is scared of, that this man might block me even if he's not doing anything. You have to scare everybody. Now, people slash into that paint because they know Draymond hardly blocks, Looney doesn't block, Quintin doesn't block, and all of that. But then we have somebody who can scare the hell out of people in that paint. I believe that they will be up because they play strong defense. So I think the problem is just that paint that is empty, just the same way the Lakers is looking right now. But I feel, with all of those, Steve Kerr doesn't believe in all of that. He believes we can switch, everybody can pick his man, small ball lineup, you take anybody, and then you switch. And then how many times you really get, if you check the statistics sheet, how many blocks in a game? Maximum of 4 or 5. So he can live with that. So I think it's a decision he has made to say that, okay, I'd rather have a smaller player who can give me points and get me real defense than get a shot blocker who is slow, which teams can explore him on a screen and roll situation. If they get to a pick and roll, it's easy to explore the bigger guys. That means, the guys slashing to the basket, they can always put the big in a screen situation so that they can explode. But then in the case of Golden State Warriors, they switch at all positions, making it difficult for teams to explode that screen and roll easily. But then in doing that, they have to.
Okay, we've been talking with Stanley Gumut there. Well, Golden State Warriors is team, and we just have to find a way to drag him around, at least to give us those.
Give up the issue of the paint, and then that.
Okay, Stanley. Well, let's just look at the Eastern Conference because of our time, so that we can also allow others to contribute. But now, let's talk about the Eastern Conference. Surprisingly, though, Cavaliers have been the one topping this particular conference ahead. They've been able to win 44 games. They lost 10. And you look at Boston Celtic, they are second on the law with 39-16, and you have New York Knicks 36-18. You can't take anything away from them. Indiana Pacers also in that order. You have Milwaukee Bucks, Detroit Pistons also making it the top 6 to at least stand in the playoffs. So far playing tournament, you look at number 7 to 8, Orlando Magic, Atlanta Hawks, Miami Heat, and Chicago Bulls there. Well, for 76ers, Brooklyn Nets, Toronto Raptors, Hornets, and Wizards. Well, they are just there. But looking at this Eastern Conference, is it the way you want it? Let me ask it that way.
If I want to be sentimental about it, I wish the Milwaukee Bucks had more depth than they do, because I feel Giannis is a great player that should have teams around him. I also see the 76ers. I feel bad for Joel Embiid, which in his career, I feel he should also be up there, contending for championship, because he has the skill, he has the mind, he also have what it takes. But then injuries are always on his side, slowing him down. But having said all of that, I think, like I said earlier, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Boston Celtics, the New York Knicks are the ones to watch out for in this particular Eastern Conference, because it is going to boil down to these 3 teams trying to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals at the end of the day. But then, looking at experience, the Boston Celtics shouldn't be joked with, and the New York Knicks as well. So I don't see the Cleveland Cavaliers pulling through. Yes, they are making a good run, but I think in a 7-game series, teams are going to beat them.
Okay, well, still in that particular conference, but we focus on Cavaliers now. Donovan Mitchell, do you think he has what it takes to lead that team out to at least, let's see what happened to that bigger conference, where by the time they lock on against the Western best?
Is it Donovan Mitchell from the days of Denver Nuggets? I think that is why they had to trade him. He hasn't shown that playoff maturity. He's always a good player, during the season, carrying teams to get to the playoffs. But then playoffs is usually a different ball game. The speed within which teams play in the regular season, they don't do that in the playoff situation, because they try to minimize the turnovers. Because the more possessions you have as a team, the better chances you have to win. So the Cleveland Cavaliers now, if they are able to understand, or maybe now he has learned over the course of the years and experience he stayed in the NBA, but then he has always not come up alive in the playoffs. I think that is why they had to dismantle his team, Utah Jazz, and then send him, to Cleveland Cavaliers. So having said all of that, we can never say never. They have what it takes. They have all the positions strongly contested in that Cavaliers. But then Donovan Mitchell, as a person, I don't see him, carrying a team in terms of, sometimes being a leader is not just knowing how to score alone. There are small little details that, you can't even see them. But because I've been a leader several times in my career, so I understand it's not all about coming to just put up numbers that makes the difference. I don't know how vocal he is in the locker room. I don't know what relationship he has with his teammates. I also don't know, his excellence of defense in terms of his position, because some of these things will really matter, during the playoffs. And then his mindset when it comes to trying to give up or to fight the battles when he has to do with Jaylen Brown or Jalen Brunson, because these are the guys he's going to come across when he eventually advances to that level. And these guys are battle-tested guys.
Okay, well, a big one there coming from Stanley Gumut, who has been talking basketball with us. Someone who has played the game to the highest level, so he knows what he's saying. And if you are a basketball fan or a player, you need to watch this, because we've been able to at least learn one or two things from the player, or rather, representative NBPF player representative himself, and someone who is into coaching and he has seen everything all in basketball. So our time is winding up, but before we go, let's talk about your best two picks so far. Maybe I should join you together, both in the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference. Just your best two.
The two teams that I want to see in the finals?
Yes.
Okay, I want to see a New York Knicks Golden State Warriors finals.
Seriously?
Yes. Yeah, the reason is because I think New York Knicks have been around for a while, since the days of Patrick Ewing.
Is it
we haven't seen them, at that level.
Man, or what?
So I didn't get that. Come again.
Is it because you are a Golden State Warrior supporter? That is why you're actually looking at them, or you are talking about performance?
One of it, yes. I am a Steph Curry, supporter to the core, yes. But then again, I feel the man has done extremely well for this game at his size. There are a lot of things. He's an unsung hero. He doesn't get the most desired hype like LeBron does in the market of basketball, in the world of basketball. But then what that man has achieved in his career, it can only be said when all said and done, he has stopped playing. Look at his size, look at his, everything about him looks like he is not going to be able to achieve the things he has done. But he has done that, and consistently on a constant basis. Right now, as I speak to you, nobody shoots like him in the NBA. And he's even getting better as he gets older, because usually shooting comes better when you are older. So that means we haven't seen the end of Steph yet. So I feel like we should also see him in the finals. So he's a fighter, he's a winner, he wills people to win as well. And then he has also the like of Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green by his side. Again, nobody's talking about Jonathan Kuminga coming back into that lineup. Already without Jonathan Kuminga, with Jimmy Butler, they have 3 out of 4 games in the Jimmy Butler era already. So putting Jonathan Kuminga, who's also a fighter, in that mix, I think Golden State Warriors have what it takes. But then it might be on a sentimental point of view. Then again, New York Knicks, I really want to see them advance to the finals, because I enjoyed watching Patrick Ewing back in the days, and I feel like New York Knicks also has a very huge market in the world of basketball for us to see them at that level.
Well, I love the fact that you were able to find your way around it as a fan of Golden State Warriors. Anyway, that's a cool one. But right now, let's drop sentiment aside. Let's talk about performance now. What would you say if it's going to be, let's assume, City Thunder versus Cavaliers in the finals?
Whoa. That would be a huge fight. I think the Cavaliers will take down the City Thunders because the Cavaliers have more firepower. Shea Gilbert, it's almost like he's the only one, doing all of this. But then if you see the Cavaliers, their 2 twin towers in the paint are doing a lot in terms of defense. So Cavaliers, a lot of people are not looking at the length in the paint. They have a lot of length. They have a lot of length inside that paint. So It is always Garland is there, supporting Donovan Mitchell. As far as I'm concerned, Garland is really a more dangerous player than Donovan Mitchell. But because the franchise is upon Donovan, you don't really see much about Garland. So I think the Cavaliers, if in the finals with OKC, will be the champions.
Okay, well, that's a good one there. But right now, before we go, let's touch on maybe one or two. Then at least we're done with basketball. For those who actually love basketball, we've told you before that we're going to focus on the NBA one of the weekends, and that's what we are doing now. Okay, from the way it is right now, let's just look at a particular player has really done well. Wembanyama has been a player that surprised so many. Let's talk about Wembanyama, and also he will be at the All-Star this weekend for the Global Stars. What do you expect of him for this week? He actually has been talking that he wants to give his best to make sure he wins this particular All-Star for this weekend with Team Turks. And right now he will be there to play. So what do you have?
Wembanyama is an exceptional player in terms of his abilities as a strong, tall forward. He's done extremely well. We're so proud of him. I love watching him play. Some of the things he does with ease is just unbelievable as his height. However, he has what it takes to become the All-Star MVP. It's an All-Star weekend, so sometimes it's not about you picking who is going to win. The game comes. So if it is his night on that night, then obviously he's going to become. So I want to see him win that at a very young age. But again, don't forget, we're going to be playing it in the Oracle Arena. Yeah.
Okay.
Where Steph also wants to pull off something.
Okay, good one there. Talking about Wembanyama has been fantastic so far for his team and also playing All-Star this weekend. Even though Stanley Gumut, our plan is to have 25 minutes with you, but your performance so far, the analysis has been in-depth, and that takes us to give you more time. So we appreciate your time. We thank you so much. Just before we allow you to go, for this NBA this season, just pick a team that you think will win the NBA.
Whoa, it's a tough one right now because it's still the NBA Finals is in June. It's in June. If I should pick a team, which team would I pick? The West or the East? The West or the East? Okay, let me say the East. New York Knicks.
Which team are you picking from the East?
New York Knicks.
Okay, you have spoken. I hope that by the time the NBA is ending, I'll have the chance to bring us to see. Maybe you you actually predict right that the Knicks could actually nip it in the bud. What a rhyme there with the man that has played basketball. He started from Plateau like a joke. Play in Libya, play different places, play for the Tigers, and also he did well when it comes to basketball. And right now, player representative of Nigerian Basketball Federation, and has been with us on the show talking basketball, the slam and dunk sport of that category. Thank you so much, Ali Gumut. We appreciate your time, and we just know that you inspire so many young ones out there, both boys and girls, men and women, that has actually seen basketball as another means of showing their sports passion. Thank you so much for joining us once again.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate this time with you.
Okay, and I just remember something now. Before you joined us, I actually saw you with your daughter, I guess. Does she play basketball too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's trying to.
Okay, that's a good one there. Well, Stanley Gumut, once again, we appreciate you. Well, we've been with him on the show. Talking basketball with MBBF player representative that has joined us live, and we've been able to talk about basketball, the Tigress, basketball development in Nigeria, and also NBA, focusing on All-Star game for this weekend, and also NBA so far this season, looking at the Western and the Eastern conferences about all the games, or rather the table that they've been performing. Well, right now, quickly, before we go, just to look at those matches, we apologize for the fans who wants to actually call in. We'll be doing that next week. But right now, as I was talking about football, Chelsea, what's happening? They lost against Brighton 3-0 in that game against Brighton. No one saw that coming, but that's football. But right now, before we talk about the Premier League or other team league fixture for this weekend, let's quickly look at the Nigerian National League fixtures. Well, the NNL fixtures, we look at it for this weekend. We have teams that will be playing Smart City versus Igbajo United, 1472 against Crown FC will be coming up there. Dakada versus Idel FC, Warri Wolves, Ijele FC, that's in Conference A. Beyond Limit FA Football Academy, rather, they'll be playing against Inter Lagos. That will be the match. The matches are actually up for grabs for this weekend in Conference A of the Nigerian National League. And you also look at Conference B. Let's have Conference B, where games will all be coming up too. Solution FC, Goswe Akpabio, Madiba FC be facing Gateway United. Kun Khalifa will be at home against Abakaliki FC over there in the Eastern part. Sporting Lagos will be hosting Osun United. Well, those are the games in the second tier of Nigerian Football League. Now, let's go to the main one. That's the top league of Nigeria, where NPFL Ogumodede declares Remo Stars readiness for Enugu Rangers. They'll be meeting this weekend in Enugu, talking about Enugu Rangers versus Remo Stars, and it's a battle of two friends. The coach of Remo Stars, Ogumodede, is a good friend to Fidelis Electrical, coach of Rangers International, and they'll be locking on this weekend at the Cathedral in Enugu. And looking at the fixtures for this weekend, Eyimba will also be playing against Rivers United in another tough match, because you have Eyimba, that team coached by Stanley Neguma, hosting Rivers United, coached by Finidi George. They will also be playing on Saturday. Kano Pillars, Abia Warriors, Kwara United, Bayelsa United, Nasarawa United at home against Ikorodu City, who have really surprised a lot of football pundits this season. Plateau United at home against El Kanemi, Lobi Stars, Katsina United, and you have Sunshine Stars, Aqua United, all coming up on Sunday, or rather on Saturday. And on Sunday you have Rangers versus Remo Stars at the Cathedral, Heartland 3SC of Ibadan, Bender Insurance versus Niger Tornadoes. Also for this weekend, that will be on Sunday. 3 matches on Sunday, and you have 7 matches on Saturday, where Eyimba will face Rivers United, and on Sunday is Rangers versus Remo Stars. Tough one, defending champion Rangers versus table topper Remo Stars. Those are the fixtures for this weekend in the NPFL. Well, as it is right now, just have a glimpse of NPFL match before we take you international. Let's just have a glimpse of Kwara United when they defeated Shooting Stars of Ibadan over there in Ilorin. They won that game, and really they were so happy getting the 3 point at stake. Well, okay, from the way it is right now, Kwara United versus Shooting Stars video. Well, even though we will, sorry, we'll be able to put that one up. Let's quickly look at fixtures for this weekend in the Premier League down to the French League. Let's quickly look at those fixtures. Premier League fixtures, match day 5. Let's have it. That's a big match there. Aston Villa, Ipswich Town, Fulham against Nottingham Forest, Manchester City against Newcastle. Watch out for that game. Guardiola will be trying to see how we can get the 3 point at stake. Southampton will be at home at St. Mary's against Bournemouth. Brentford, they face West Ham United, and you have Crystal Palace against Everton. Liverpool at home against Wolverhampton Wanderers as Hotspur host Manchester United. These are the games for this weekend in the Premier League, match day 25. That will be coming up over there in England. Straight down to La Liga in the Spanish headquarters. There are a lot of matches coming up. Leganes against Deportivo Alaves, Madrid versus Osasuna, Atletico will be facing Celta de Vigo, Villarreal versus Valencia, Athletic Club, they are away to Espanyol in the city of Barcelona, Real Valladolid against Sevilla, Las Palmas play against Mallorca, Real Betis, they host Real Sociedad in those fixtures, match day 24 of the Spanish La Liga. And German Bundesliga, we have matches of there: Borussia Dortmund, St. Pauli, Freiburg, Stuttgart versus Wolfsburg, Mönchengladbach away to Union Berlin, and Leverkusen versus Bayern Munich. What a match there. We see our own Nigeria player, Victor Boniface, will be able to score against Bayern. or Bayern will do them dirty, as they say. Werder Bremen at home against Hoffenheim. Holstein Kiel, they are away to Eintracht Frankfurt, while Heidenheim will be playing against Mainz 05 in the German Bundesliga. Match day 22 fixtures in Italian Serie A. Atalanta at home against Cagliari. What a match there between Lazio and Napoli. Tabletop of Napoli, can they sustain it? Well, as it is facing Lazio. AC Milan versus Hellas Verona. Fiorentina, Como, Monza, Lecce, Empoli away to Udinese. Okoye is back, and you have Parma taking on AS Roma as Juventus versus Inter Milan. What a big match there between Old Ladies and Nerazzurris at over there at the Turin Stadium, Allianz Stadium in Turin City. Match day 25 fixtures in Italia Serie A. Inter Milan away to Juventus. That's a match to watch this weekend. And in the French League on match day 22 fixtures, Olympique Marseille will be hosting Saint-Etienne. Nantes, Moses Simon's team are also battered to go away to Monaco, while Toulouse will play against PSG. Montpellier, Lyon, Le Havre versus OGC Nice. You have Lens, Strasbourg. You also have Reims, Enger, while Reims will be playing against Lille in those matches for this weekend in the French League on. Okay, as it is right now, we have tough matches. We know that two tough matches in the NPFL. Enyimba will be taking on Rivers there. For the way it is right now, Enyimba will be taking on Rivers. We know it's a tough match because Finidi Just Stanley Eguma will be coming up. Those are the big match for this weekend. And you know that Rangers also will be playing against Raymond Stars. Also a big match between defending champion versus the team that are actually leading the table right now, Raymond Stars. And both coaches are friends. So those two matches, watch out for them. Enugu Rangers versus Raymond Stars. Enyimba hosting the team that is called Rivers United. Well, that's it on the show. We have to go now. Though, before we go, at least there should be a snippet coming from that particular Quara versus Shooting Stars. Let's just have that quickly so that we can use that to wrap up the show. We want to appreciate Stanley Gumut for joining us on the show to contribute on basketball development, NBA, and also the Tigers and the Tiger. And for those who are watching, we appreciate you from the entire crew that has made this happen. Adeniyi Ajishafe. Have a splendid weekend, and thanks for watching.